Hey guys, Peter here to do an album review. Today I'm here to talk to you guys about the brand new record from Evergrey, The Atlantic. This album is out on January 25th on AFM Records and it has 10 tracks and it's about 55 minutes in length. This is the third and final album in the Oceanic concept trilogy that the band created. And in this record, I really felt that that theme, that ocean theme, really ran deep. Not only in the lyrics, which is pretty much obvious, but also in the music and the way the songs were put together and the way the song structures were created and the way the melody sounded, the riffs, the harmonies. Everything about this record screams the ocean. Everything about it. I really like that fact. I really like the fact that they let it really run deep to the point where the music itself is reflective of the theme of the record. I like the fluidity that the album has, almost in the sense of an ocean where it's calm, easy breezy, no winds, calm seas in one moment, and in a matter of seconds a storm develops and engulfs your ship. That's almost how this album feels. This album feels to have that kind of fluidity, the fluidity that you would expect from a record that talks about ocean and about things related to it. So it has that momentum. You're listening not only from song to song, and I want to make this clear, it's not only a matter of changes from song to song. Within the same songs, there is an abrupt changes, there are tempo changes, there are melody changes. This album is pretty much representative of the ocean and how unpredictable it can be. How calm and beautiful it can be at times, and absolutely horrendous, dangerous, and deadly in others. And that the changes happen sometimes in a matter of seconds, and that's how this album is designed. From song to song, you have those changes, but then within the songs, you also have those same changes. And then after a big storm comes peace and calm and tranquility. The album is all about this. This album has such life to it. It has an incredible dynamic to it, and it's really well representative of its theme. It's one of those records that just everything about it, from lyrics to music to the way the songs flow to the concept of the songs, the creation of the songs, the structure of the songs, everything breathes and feels the theme of the record. I love that. I think it's really cool. It's really unique. But it's not the only thing unique about this record. The other thing that I noticed was that every single song has a very unique introduction to the song, a very unique intro to the song. That was really cool as well. I really like the fact that you sit down to hear a song and you're listening to the record, and every single song has a different way to get started, has a different introduction, has a way to almost allow you, your mind and your brain to ease into that track. I like that. It was not like every single song started in the same fashion. Every single one had a nice little intro to it, some of them having incredible outros as well. But I really wanted to mention the fact that every single song on this record, all 10 tracks, have a very unique intro. I thought that was very, very different, very unique as well. Now, there are two things that I really feel, besides these points, because these are commonalities that I really feel give life to the theme of the record. But beyond that, there are two things that I really feel I have to mention about this album from Evergrey, The Atlantic. One is how atmospheric, how cool the melodies are, and the other is Tom's vocals. I'll start with Tom's vocals. Incredible. Like the currents of the sea, he uses his voice on this record to really give the sense of a tide coming in and a tide going out. High tide, low tide. His voice is pretty much the tide of the ocean that wraps this whole record together. I love that. He really used his voice to give the right dynamic at the right parts of the songs. Some songs a little bit more raspy, a little bit more aggressive. Some songs a little bit more melodic. Just like the ocean, just like the song structures, just like the lyrics, his vocal delivery really matched and fit perfectly into the overall theme of the record. The other one is the melodies, the guitar melodies, the keyboard melodies, incredible melodies. Either really beautiful, melodic, and then dark and atmospheric at the same time, or a little bit more heavy to create a sense of a storm, to create a sense of something brewing. They did a wonderful job with both guitar melodies and keyboard melodies to really accentuate the value of the song, the lyrics of the song, the content of the song. Musically, this album has a dark, atmospheric blanket that just really encompasses the whole record. You just feel like it just really takes you in and just really grabs you, and it just captivates you, and it just holds you there. It's really cool what they did. I really like that. I really thought that also the use of the keyboards on the record was really well done, like I mentioned, with the guitars. But the thing about the keyboards I wanted to mention is, in an era where we see a lot of bands really going overboard with the synthesizers, really letting that part of their music almost dictate the melodies of the songs and how the songs flow, they used it very differently. They used it almost as an accent to the song, as a key component to the song, but not the component in the song. Not what they did was they didn't overused the keyboard melodies. They didn't over relay on it, and what that did was it created more of a background sound, a background atmospheric sound that gave momentum to the songs, that gave spirit, that gave a different aroma to the songs, but did not become the overall theme of the song. It did not permeate to a point where it's pretty much the only thing you can hear and the only thing that stands out on individual tracks. So I like how they did that. I like how they used the keyboards on their tracks, not overusing it, in an era that I see a lot of bands really overusing it to an extent where perhaps to damage their own quality of their sound. I really like what they did with this record from every single point. This is one of those records that you really have to sit down and listen to it and really try to understand the overall concept, the feel, where their mindset was when they created this record. Because if you're just sitting down and you're thinking of listening to just music and you're not paying attention to these details and how close everything relates to the overall theme, I think you walk away not getting the full essence of the record, and that is a shame, because this record, it's really well put together, it's really well created, really well structured. As far as songs, I really want to talk about songs that didn't come out in the singles before the release, so I'm going to start with All I Have. The intro to this track is a really great build-up. First the guitar riff, and then the drums kick in. When they both come together, it really reaches a pinnacle. I like that start. Like I said, every single track on this record has a unique intro. This one has almost the feel like the volume being increased and instruments being added to that volume until it reaches really a crescendo. The dark tone of the keyboard melody on this track really gives a counterbalance to how heavy the guitar riffs are. The keyboard melody also then joins Tom's vocals in the chorus, and it creates a very beautiful melodic chorus, and at the same time full of hopelessness. Almost like you feel a sense of despair, not only from the melody that comes from the keyboard, but from his vocals as well. When you put that two components together, you really have a song that really has a feeling of just emptiness, a feeling like it's absolutely beautiful, but at the same time you just feel like there's nothing there. It's just this hollow feeling within you, and that continues with the guitar solo. The guitar solo is really an extension of that. It's absolutely beautiful, and it adds to that darkness, to that despair, to that hopelessness, to that emptiness that the song has, to that aura that the song has. So I really like what they did with everything on this song, how they put it all together to really emphasize the lyrical content of the song and what they're trying to tell you with the specific lyrics of this track. Another song that I wanted to mention is A Secret Atlantis. This one has a bombastic start. Like I said, every song has a very unique beginning, a very unique intro. This one has a bombastic start. It just really comes at you heavy, fast, and I think the keyword for this song is really heavy. It really has this heavy, bombastic start to it. The vocals kind of pump in the brakes a little bit. Once the vocals come in, the song tends to slow down just enough. It just pumps the brakes a little bit, slows it down. And then the drumming in the pre-chorus is absolutely phenomenal. I really like how heavy, the heaviness of the guitars at that part is replaced with the heaviness of the drums. The drums are really heavy in that pre-chorus, and it really sets up the chorus. The chorus is super melodic and super haunting. The heaviness kind of is in the pre-chorus, gets stripped out. The chorus becomes a lot more melodic, a lot more haunting, with a very haunting guitar riff. And the song, like the rest of the album, is pretty much a roller coaster of emotions. You go through these ups and downs with heavy moments, more melodic moments, almost depressive, dark moments, then getting back again to heavier moments. I really like how this song is structured and the flow, the fluidity that it has to it. Another key thing about this song is the incredible keyboard solo followed by the guitar solo. I really like that because it gave the song something different. It gave the song a little bit of a twist and a turn, if you will. And then the same way the song starts with that crescendo bombastic start, the song ends that way. It ends with that bombastic start, but now diminishing it in sound. So it's almost like you went through the bottom of a hill, you went all the way up to the top of the hill, and then you're coming all the way back to the bottom of the hill. Great way to create a song, great way to create a different dynamic, incorporate the intro with the outro, creating a very unique song, a very well structured song. Last but not least, the Beacon. This one sounds, the intro of this one, before I talk about how it sounds, the intro of this song is absolutely incredible. You have the sound of the ocean, you have the seagulls, you have a little bit of a spoken word intro, really cool introduction to the song, and then the synth melodies, the keyboard melodies kick in, and the song, and that specific keyboard melody becomes almost a strobe light from a lighthouse. The same way a lighthouse spins around and the light seems to come, if you're in a ship coming from far, and you're seeing a lighthouse, it could give you a sense of the light coming and going. It's not coming and going, it's just because the way it seems in the horizon, it gives you the sense of coming and going, almost like a strobe light. This song, it really creates that from a musical perspective. That's how cool it is. The song is called The Beacon, so it's also about beacon of light. So it has that in the lyrics, and then what they did was they created a song musically that really represented the lyrics well. They really brought the lyrics to life by creating a vibe, by creating an atmosphere with that keyboard melody that gives the song a sense of a beacon, a sense of coming and going, coming and going. Absolutely incredible. The way they did that, really well thought out, really smart, really well put together, and more important, well executed. I also really like the chorus in this song. Really catchy. I mean, they did a really good job with the choruses throughout the record, creating choruses that are very catchy, earworms that you remember easily, and after a couple of times through, you're singing along. This one perhaps has one of the most catchy, melodic, and hooky chorus of the whole record. I also like the outro. I mentioned at the beginning of the review that every single song had a very unique intro, and some songs have very cool outros. This is another song that has a really cool outro with an acoustic guitar melody coming in at the end of the song to kind of fade out the song into oblivion. I really like that. It was very different from all other songs on the record, and it gave the song a very cool vibe, a very cool identity, if you will. Alright guys, this is Evergrey The Atlantic, out January 25th on AFM Records. Let me know your thoughts on the band, on the record. What are your favorite songs? Use the comment section below. Leave your comments there. I'll be reading those and getting back to you. Take care, guys.